In Ghana, there is high blood scarcity as the blood banks are not able to collect enough to meet the demand. For patients in dire need of blood transfusion, they either have to pay exorbitant fees charged by some hospitals or go through middlemen who facilitate the illegal purchase of blood at the hospitals. This lady, who pleaded anonymity, said she's been asked to pay 250 Ghana cedis for a pint of blood. Cost is therefore a barrier to patients who need blood to survive.
Surgery. For in case of any eventuality, but no more general. And say, may you be so amana anye emergency. And say, you be a man ye mojano. Now say it 250.
That is the plight of some relatives of patients who are desperately in need for blood for their families on admission to the hospital. Unfortunately, the fees charged for blood has left them distraught. This middle-aged woman says blood bank operators she contracted demanded 400 Ghana cedis for a pint.
Hospitals are a period. Your period in sky is 150 million. We don't 8 in a much Romaya. And I am 6 months. I cut 2. Minis cabin but also cabbage me no musi I need an amfa until I pay your bontimla until Bontina and Bakubia 404 million.
The National Blood Service says blood is not supposed to be sold. However, one is required to pay a processing fee to run laboratory tests on blood requested for transfusion. The service says the cost of processing this blood should not exceed 150 Ghana cedis. Chief Executive Officer of the National Blood Service, Dr. Justin Ansah, reveals the shortage of voluntary blood donations is the reason for the abuse of the system by unscrupulous individuals.
Because of the scarcity and artificial shortage that is created, people who want to take advantage of the system because there's always shortage also collect. So there may be somebody who pays the processing fee, group and cross margin to the bank, giving a receipt, but around the person they may also have gotten somebody to come and donate for them, and then would have paid some money. So these are some, but to be able to curb that, I will repeat that we need to make sure that blood is an essential commodity. We have it in excess.
The sale of blood has become lucrative because only 6 out of every 1,000 of Ghana's population donates blood. The expected minimum is 10 out of every 1,000. According to the National Blood Service, the national voluntary blood donation rate has declined steeply from 34% of total blood donations in 2019 to 17% in 2020. Dr. Ansah adds that over the same period, the percentage of voluntary donations collected by blood centers in Accra, Kumasi and Tamale has recorded a corresponding decline from 52% in 2019 to 24% in 2020.
So I just want to state that we don't have enough blood. We're only meeting about 60% of our collections of what we need as a country. So definitely some people will be disadvantaged, which means that some people will not get blood when they need, and it will affect more of emergencies.
In order to find out how official and unofficial sale of blood occurs at some of our hospitals, our investigative team went undercover at Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, formerly known as Ridge Hospital. At the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, we approached Eric Mensah, popularly referred to as Akwesi among his peers, a man in his early 30s. He claimed to work at the blood bank situated at Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Our follow-up investigations established that he is the leader of a syndicate that facilitates the illegal purchase of blood at the hospital. We told him we needed blood for a patient with ovarian cancer. He demanded 750 Ghana cedis for a pint of blood, but after intense negotiation, he reduced it by 50 Ghana cedis. So we agreed to pay 700 Ghana cedis.
I That's a way to stimulate the soccer. Is it any positive?
Tell me the way to go. What the mama and I'm there.
What can I do? Oh, only one day. You only one day. I get it. We don't call it so long. Got to let them in. Come on. So far. You want to know the cat? Huh? The cat in the car. I'm a mother. That's the main yakran of Mamma Cash and Marash. Lack of a sample request number. Like mass of the under this year with the man. I've been informing them. This was the sample request number.
We did not have the required blood sample and requisition form from an accredited hospital, but Akwesi took down payment of 100 Ghana cedis, promising to give us blood once we pay in full.
We'll meet them. We'll come. Okay. So you took 100. Yes,
After providing blood sample and a requisition form, he provided the investigative team with a pint of blood. He did not give us a receipt for this transaction. It was the same for this desperate woman who needed a blood type O+ for the patient on admission at Kolebu.
No, be positive. No, negative.
The request also did not go through the proper channel. The right thing to do was that the blood sample and requisition form should have been submitted at the designated post at the blood bank and an official receipt issued for the cost of processing the blood. Many other patients we spoke to shared similar stories of exploitation by some staff of the blood bank. We asked Chief Executive Officer of the National Blood Service, Dr. Justina Ansah, whether she is aware of the middlemen operating as a syndicate that facilitate illegal sale of blood at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Because of the scarcity and artificial shortage that is created, people who want to make take advantage of the system because there's always shortage. Also, so there will be somebody who pays the processing fee, group and cross margin to the bank, giving a receipt. But around the person, they may also have gotten somebody to come and donate for them, and then would have paid some money.
The investigative team also visited the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, formerly Ridge Hospital, to look into the illegal sale of blood. At the facility, an official at the blood bank demanded 300 cedis for a pint of blood. We submitted a blood sample and requisition form with details of a hospital located in the Ashanti region. They did not do any further due diligence to ascertain that the facility was in the national capital, but gave us the blood in a flask to be given to the patient. The medical director of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Sorpenyo, says the processing fee of blood at the facility should not exceed 100 Ghana cedis. He finds it unacceptable that a staff demanded 300 Ghana cedis for a pint of blood at the hospital.
The fact of the matter is that blood is an essential material which is needed to save life. So normally our policies vary depending on the circumstances. If somebody has an emergency on hand and needs blood urgently, we provide the blood as and when she or he needs the blood, we provide the blood, but then they are then expected to pay what we call the processing fee. It is important for me to explain what I mean by the processing fee. The blood itself is not for payment because it's a gift of nature. It's not for payment. But when you take blood, we expect you to pay a processing fee because when the blood is donated, what happens is that we don't just transfuse it fresh as it is donated. It is processed. We do various tests, various investigations are done to check whether there is HIV, hepatitis, syphilis tests. All these things are done, and it costs. There is a cost to them. So those costs are placed on the blood. So anybody who is coming to take that pint of blood will have to pay for that processing fee. That's what we call processing fee. Currently, to the best of my knowledge, the processing fee is 100 Ghana cedis. That is what, and then when you pay the processing fee, you'll be given a receipt. So any payment that is done without receipt is an illegality.
Every minute, many more Ghanaians have to scale this barrier in their struggles for survival. Those who cannot afford may have to go home and die, while a cartel continues to rip off the few who have the means to pay.